Have you ever wondered what Amish families ate after church services in the 1960s? Bean soup with bread chunks, homemade church spread, pickled beets, apple schnitz pie. That exact menu has vanished from most districts. Here is what disappeared and why it mattered. The traditional menu. The Sunday church dinner menu in Amish communities during the 1960s followed a pattern that rarely changed. After 3 hours of worship services held in members' homes, families gathered for a light meal prepared the day before. The menu was predictable across Lancaster County and similar settlements. Bean soup served warm in bowls, thick slices of homemade white bread, church peanut butter spread, Lebanon bologna and sliced cheese, pickled red beets from home-canned jars, apple schnitz pie or cookies for dessert, coffee for adults. This meal fed 200 people efficiently without requiring extensive preparation on Sunday morning. Bean soup preparation. Bean soup, called church soup or Bupley soup in some districts, was a staple at Sunday dinners through the 1960s. The recipe was simple. Navy beans or sulfur beans sautéed in browned butter, cooked in milk, seasoned with salt and pepper, then served with chunks of bread stirred directly into the hot soup. Making it for 200 people required careful planning. On Saturday, the hosting family would prepare 10 gallons of milk, cook several quarts of dried beans, and bake extra loaves of bread specifically for the soup. Sunday morning, as church services neared their end, the soup would be heated and bread added just before serving. The warm, creamy mixture was filling and could be made in large quantities without expensive ingredients. By the 1980s, many districts stopped serving it entirely. Homemade bread baking. Saturday mornings before hosting church meant baking bread in quantities most modern households never attempt. A typical hosting family would bake 20 to 30 loaves of white bread to feed the congregation. The bread served multiple purposes. It accompanied the bean soup. It was sliced for sandwiches with peanut butter spread and lunch meat. It was cubed and added directly to soup bowls. The recipe was simple. Flour, yeast, sugar, salt, butter, and warm water mixed into dough, allowed to rise twice, shaped into loaves, and baked until golden. The work was not complicated, but it was time-consuming. Multiple ovens ran all morning. Daughters helped their mothers knead dough and shape loaves. The smell of fresh bread filled the house on the day before church. By the time services began on Sunday, the bread had cooled enough to slice, but was still soft. Today, many families buy bread from Amish bakeries or even grocery stores rather than baking dozens of loaves at home. Church peanut butter spread. Church peanut butter spread was not regular peanut butter. It was a sweetened mixture that combined peanut butter with marshmallow creme or corn syrup to create a spreadable, candy-like consistency. The recipe varied slightly by family, but the basic version mixed equal parts peanut butter and marshmallow fluff with a bit of honey or corn syrup to thin it. Some versions added a small amount of milk to make it easier to spread. The result was sweeter than standard peanut butter and jellies combined, and children loved it. Adults would spread it thick on slices of homemade bread, creating open-faced sandwiches that paired with sliced cheese and bologna. The spread was practical for church dinners because it could be made in large batches days ahead and stored in jars. It did not require refrigeration and stayed fresh through the weekend. It was filling and provided quick energy. Today, some Amish families still make church spread, but many have switched to regular peanut butter and jelly or store-bought alternatives. The homemade version requires time and effort that busy families no longer prioritize for a twice-monthly church meal. Pickled beets recipe. Pickled red beets appeared at every church dinner table in the 1960s. They were served in small dishes alongside the bread and meat, adding color and a sweet sour flavor to the meal. The beets came from home-canned jars prepared during summer and fall when gardens produced more beets than families could eat fresh. The canning process was straightforward but labor-intensive. Women would harvest beets, boil them until tender, slip off the skins, slice them into rounds or chunks, and pack them into sterilized jars. The pickling liquid was a mixture of vinegar, sugar, water, salt, and spices like cloves or cinnamon. The jars were processed in boiling water baths to seal them for long-term storage. A single family might can 50 or more quarts of pickled beets to last through the winter and provide enough for church dinners when it was their turn to host. The bright red beets were practical. They stored well. They required no preparation on Sunday morning beyond opening jars and placing them in serving dishes. They added nutrition and variety to an otherwise beige and brown meal. As fewer Amish families maintain large gardens and spend time canning, pickled beets have become less common at church dinners. Store-bought pickles have largely replaced them. Section 6. Apple Schnitz Pie. Apple Schnitz pie was the signature dessert at Amish church dinners in Lancaster County during the 1960s. Schnitz means dried apple slices in Pennsylvania Dutch, and the pie was made by rehydrating these dried apples, cooking them until soft, mashing them into a thick applesauce-like filling, and baking them between two crusts. The process began months before the pie was served. In late summer and early fall, families would slice fresh apples thin, lay them on screens or cloth to dry in the sun or near the wood stove, and store the dried slices in bags or jars. When church was scheduled at their home, the hosting family would soak the dried apples overnight in water, cook them the next day with sugar, cinnamon, and cloves until they broke down into a smooth filling, then assemble the pies. A family hosting 200 people might bake 20 to 30 schnitz pies on Saturday. The pies had a distinct flavor, sweeter and spicier than fresh apple pie, with a dense, almost paste-like texture. Children either loved them or refused to eat them. By the 1980s and 1990s, fewer families were drying apples at home. Fresh apple pies or store-bought cookies became more common. The labor of drying fruit, storing it properly, and preparing the filling was no longer practical for families with smaller gardens and busier schedules. Moon pies for children. Moon pies, also called schnitzboy in Pennsylvania Dutch, were small half-moon-shaped pastries filled with apple schnitz filling and given to children during the long church services. The services lasted 3 hours, with no breaks, and young children struggled to sit still and stay quiet on hard wooden benches. Parents would slip moon pies to their children about halfway through the service to keep them occupied. The pastries were made the same way as schnitz pie, but in individual handheld sizes. A small circle of pie dough was rolled thin, folded in half with a spoonful of schnitz filling inside, edges crimped together, and the top brushed with cream and sugar before baking. The result was a portable, sweet treat that children could eat quietly without making a mess. Making moon pies required significant effort. A family hosting church might make 50 or more, enough for every child under age 10 to receive one. Some families made them on Fridays so the dough would dry out slightly, making the pastries less likely to fall apart when handled by small hands. The tradition of giving children moon pies during services faded as families stopped making schnitz filling at home and as some districts decided that feeding children during worship was unnecessary. Today, most Amish parents bring quiet snacks like crackers or cereal for young children, but the homemade moon pie tradition has largely disappeared. Lebanon baloney. Lebanon baloney was the standard lunch meat served at Amish church dinners in Pennsylvania during the 1960s. It is a type of fermented smoked sausage with a tangy, slightly sour flavor that comes from a curing process unique to Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. The meat is made from coarsely ground beef, heavily seasoned, slow-smoked over hardwood, and aged. The result is a dark, dense bologna with a distinctive taste that pairs well with bread and cheese. Amish families would buy Lebanon bologna in large quantities from local butchers or produce it themselves if they had the equipment and knowledge for meat curing. On church Sundays, the bologna would be sliced thin and arranged on platters alongside sliced cheese, usually mild cheddar or Swiss. Members would make simple sandwiches by layering bologna, cheese, and church spread or mustard on slices of homemade bread. The meat was practical for church dinners because it did not require refrigeration for several hours and could be prepared ahead without losing quality. It was filling and provided protein to balance the carbohydrate-heavy meal of bread and pie. As Amish settlements spread beyond Pennsylvania into Ohio, Indiana, and other states where Lebanon bologna was not locally produced, the tradition of serving it at church dinners declined. Families in those areas substituted regular lunch meat or ham, and even in Pennsylvania, some districts moved away from Lebanon bologna as younger generations developed different taste preferences and commercial deli meats became more widely available. Coffee service. Coffee at Amish church dinners in the 1960s was served strong, hot, and in large quantities. The hosting family would prepare several large pots of coffee, sometimes using commercial-sized percolators borrowed from other families or the church district's shared equipment. The coffee was made with regular ground coffee, boiled in large pots on the wood stove or gas range, and kept warm throughout the meal. Adults would drink multiple cups while visiting after the meal, making coffee service an important part of the fellowship time that followed worship. The preparation was simple, but required planning. Enough coffee had to be made to serve 100 or more adults, and it needed to stay hot for several hours as people ate in shifts and lingered to talk. Some families would start brewing coffee during the final hymn, so it was ready when the service ended. Sugar and cream were provided, though many Amish drank their coffee black. The coffee service was as much about social time as it was about the beverage itself. Standing around with a cup of coffee gave adults a reason to gather in small groups and talk while children played outside and the hosting family cleaned up. As church dinners became simpler and quicker in later decades, coffee service also changed. Some districts switched to instant coffee for convenience. Others began offering tea or juice as alternatives. The tradition of brewing large pots of strong coffee and spending an hour or more drinking it after the meal has faded as church dinners have become more efficient and less focused on extended fellowship. Modern replacements. Today's Amish church dinners look different from those of the 1960s. The changes reflect practical realities. Fewer families have time for all-day Saturday baking. Fewer women preserve food in the quantities their grandmothers did. Church districts are often smaller, requiring less food. And taste preferences have shifted, especially among younger members who grew up with access to commercial foods that their parents and grandparents rarely ate. Bean soup has been replaced in most districts by simpler options or eliminated entirely. Some churches serve no soup at all. Homemade bread still appears, but it is often purchased from Amish bakeries rather than baked at home. Church peanut butter spread remains popular in some areas, but competes with regular peanut butter, jelly, and even Nutella in progressive districts. Pickled beets have largely disappeared, replaced by store-bought pickles or no pickled vegetables at all. Apple schnitz pie is rare. Fresh apple pies, cookies from bakeries, or simple desserts like brownies have taken its place. Moon pies for children are almost extinct. Lebanon bologna persists in Pennsylvania but has been replaced elsewhere by standard deli meats. Coffee service continues but often uses instant coffee or is supplemented with tea, lemonade, and bottled water. The modern church dinner is simpler, faster to prepare, and less labor-intensive. Many districts now serve a standard menu of sandwiches with lunch meat and cheese, chips, cookies, and beverages. The meal still serves its purpose of providing food and fellowship after worship, but it no longer requires the extensive preparation that defined church hosting in earlier generations. The church dinner menu of the 1960s disappeared for reasons that had little to do with the food itself. The recipes were not difficult. Most required basic ingredients that Amish families had in abundance. Bean soup needed beans, milk, butter, and bread. Schnitz pie needed dried apples and spices. Church spread needed peanut butter and marshmallow. The challenge was not complexity, but time and volume. Preparing a meal for 200 people from scratch required hours of labor spread across multiple days. It required preserving foods months in advance. It required coordination among family members and a level of domestic production that made sense when families were larger, when women spent most of their time on household work, when commercial alternatives were unavailable or expensive. As those conditions changed, the traditional menu became impractical. Smaller families meant less help with preparation. Women working in family businesses or outside jobs had less time for baking and canning. Commercial bakeries run by Amish entrepreneurs made it easier to buy bread and cookies than to make them. Store-bought lunch meat and pickles saved hours of work. The next generation learned simplified versions of the old recipes or skipped them entirely. Some recipes disappeared because no one wrote them down. Others faded because the ingredients became hard to find or the taste did not appeal to younger palates. The church dinner still happens. Families still gather after worship to eat and fellowship. But the food has changed. What was served in the 1960s exists now mostly in memory, in a few old cookbooks, and in the stories that older Amish women tell about the Saturdays they spent baking 30 pies for Sunday church.